Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really unique angle, I think, looking at, profound human insight. Sometimes the biggest truths, they don't come from like a dense study, right? Or some complex history lesson. They can come from a really well-crafted, almost poetic bit of communication. And our source today, it's actually a book release announcement, yeah, for a title called The Headset You Almost Had. Now, before you think, oh, this is just marketing, hold on. Our mission here is, well, it's richer than that. We want to unpack why this specific announcement kind of hits so hard, to pull out the universal message that's sort of baked into its launch, and really get at the wisdom hidden in what looks like, a simple promo piece. It's not just what it says, but why it lands and what that tells us about ourselves.
Exactly. And that's really why this caught my eye. It's just a brilliant example of communication. How one single, really vivid image can just bypass all our intellectual stuff and tap right into a common human experience. This announcement, it doesn't just lay out an idea, it uses pathos. Creates that immediate feeling, that connection, before it even gets to the argument. It's like an invitation, not just a statement.
Absolutely. An invitation into that shared experience and that simple, relatable moment you mentioned. That's where it all starts. This is where it gets really captivating. This almost cinematic moment the author paints. Says here, watching my 1-year-old nephew reaching for a headset. Okay. He was inches away, but he stopped. He didn't know one more reach would have given him what he wanted. Can you just picture that? I mean, that tiny hand, fingers stretching out, almost touching this thing he wants. You feel the desire, right? The effort. And then right at that critical point, the hand pulls back. He gives up. Not because he couldn't reach it, but because he just didn't know how incredibly close he was. It's such a clean, simple observation, but it hits you with this surprising depth. A bit melancholic, even.
It really does.
It sticks with you, that image. Feels so specific to a kid, but also strangely familiar to us as adults.
That visual is incredibly potent because it connects immediately to something we all recognize, even if we haven't seen that exact scene. And if we kind of zoom out, connect this to the bigger picture, well, it's not just a cute story about a baby. It's also a mirror, isn't it? To a really deep human tendency. The announcement asks it directly, like a challenge. Because isn't that what we all do? We quit too soon. We stop when the dream, the love, the breakthrough was already in our hands.
Wow. Yeah.
See, it's not about the headset anymore. It's about us, about this fundamental thing we do. We often become our own biggest barrier. Not because we can't do it, but maybe because we just don't realize how close we are. That one more reach. It's like an invisible wall.
Invisible, yeah.
It's the unknown gap, the feeling of impossibility that stops us, not the actual effort needed. Think about it. How many times have you maybe been right there, an inch away from something important, a skill you were just about to get, or I don't know, a conversation that could fix things, or that key idea for a project? We often back off when the finish line isn't clearly in sight. We just don't realize it might be one more step away.
Right.
And that makes you wonder, what's going on in our heads then? Is it just fear of failing? Or sometimes maybe even afraid of succeeding?
That's a really interesting angle. Fear of success. It pushes us past just thinking about external problems, doesn't it? We usually talk about perseverance, like just gritting your teeth, pure willpower. But this anecdote, it suggests something quieter, a moment of just not knowing. Is it that we just misjudge the effort needed for that last bit? Or is it more like a failure of imagination? Like we can't even picture success being that close?
It's probably a mix, I'd say.
Yeah.
A complex thing. We often rely on what's easily available in our memory, right? So if we've hit a few walls, our brain kind of highlights those setbacks, making the next try feel huge, maybe impossible.
Yeah, the negativity bias.
Right. And you can get that learned helplessness, too, if you've tried and failed a lot. But this one more reach idea, it feels slightly different. It's not just about not seeing the path. It's about not realizing how soon the reward could come.
Ah, the immediacy.
Exactly. Like a cognitive blind spot that tells us, nah, not worth it, right when it's about to pay off. And that brings us neatly to what the announcement says is the book's core truth, this powerful way of redefining cost.
Yes, let's get to that. This is the philosophical heart of it, presented right there in the announcement. It's a line that really makes you stop and think. So what's it asking of us, really? It wants us to completely reconsider what expensive means. The central idea, right, from the announcement. The most expensive things in life aren't the ones you can't afford. They're the ones you almost had.
That hits differently.
Doesn't it? It just flips our usual understanding of value of loss. We're so conditioned, aren't we? Expensive equals a big price tag, something you can't buy.
Right. Financial cost.
But this statement says no, the real cost, the loss that truly stings and lasts. It's not about money or things. It's the intangible stuff. Opportunities that were right there, dreams about to happen, connections that could have grown.
Yeah,
And then, for whatever reason, we let them slip. It's the price of regret, isn't it?
definitely.
The what ifs, the roads you didn't take when you were standing right at the junction. It's about all that experience, connection, achievement that was just past that one more reach. That redefinition of cost, for me, that's one of the most potent takeaways here. It shifts the focus from lack of money to lack of resolve.
It really does. It makes you face this idea that your biggest cost might not be on your bank statement, but in the things you didn't get because you stopped just short. It ties right into the psychology of regret. Research actually shows that regret over inaction, the things we didn't do, often lasts longer and hurts more
Oh,
than regret over actions we took, even if those actions went wrong. That almost had isn't just a missed chance. It's like this constant little background hum of potential you didn't fulfill.
wow.
So this profound way of looking at it, it naturally leads you to ask, who really needs to hear this? Who is this for?
And the announcement is pretty specific about that, isn't it?
Very specific. It says, it's for the dreamers, the almost quitters, the ones standing inches away from their breakthrough without knowing it.
Right. Not for everyone, maybe.
Exactly. It's not aimed at people who never try or maybe those who always seem to succeed easily. It's for the people who have ambition, who push themselves, who know that feeling of getting close and then pulling back. People who've had that internal battle, that little voice of doubt that makes you pause when maybe you should have pushed. For the dreamers, to nudge, keep going, even when it feels far off. For the almost quitters, it's like a shot of pure encouragement, a reminder that the point where you want to give up, that's often right before the win.
The critical point.
A critical psychological pivot, yeah. And for those already standing inches away, it's a wake-up call, a chance to get the awareness they might be missing so they don't make the same mistake as the nephew. It's hopeful, but it's also a real challenge, to be more self-aware, to cultivate that real perseverance.
That's a key distinction, isn't it? It's not just for people stuck at the starting line, but for those already running the race, already invested.
Precisely.
It feels like it's tailored for those moments of deep internal wrestling we all go through. Suggests that the biggest fights aren't always against massive external odds, but against our own internal resistance, our own failure to see how close we are.
Well put.
So if this message is that vital, how does the announcement actually encourage us to, do something with it?
Right. It doesn't just leave you thinking. It pushes a bit further.
It definitely extends an invitation, or maybe it feels more like a challenge to you, the listener. It gives this direct call to action. Maybe this is your headset moment.
Yeah, turns it right back on you.
Exactly. Take that powerful story and hold it up to your own life. Understand this isn't just about a kid, it's a mirror. It forces that moment of looking inward, asking, where am I stopping just short right now? Is there a situation in my life where one more reach could change everything and I just don't see it?
A direct prompt for self-reflection.
And then, okay, for those who feel compelled to explore the idea more in the book itself, the announcement gives the practical details. It mentions the ebook is out now, $19.99 on Gumroad. And there's a hard copy for $29.99 with contact info if you want to order that. Now, for our deep dive here, it's important we note this. We're looking at this info as part of how the announcement works, how it encourages you to engage deeper with its message.
Right.
It's not us endorsing the product, just analyzing the source material completely.
Exactly. It shows that the path to really internalizing this kind of truth often involves some kind of external prompt or next step.
Which the announcement provides.
Precisely. The call to action flows right from the core message. It's offering a chance for reflection, maybe growth. That's where the emotional connection it built earlier kind of pivots into a practical application. It's not just about getting the concept intellectually, but sparking maybe a change in behavior, or at least, like you said, a sharp moment of self-awareness. So ultimately, what this deep dive shows us, I think, is how a really simple, almost deceptive image can unlock some pretty complex insights about us, about motivation, about sticking with things, and about those costs. We don't usually think about the costs of our own limits we put on ourselves.
Limits we might not even see.
Exactly. It makes us really aware that sometimes the biggest hurdles aren't out there. They're in here. Lack of awareness, a flicker of doubt, misjudging the effort needed, stopping us from taking that final crucial step. The headset story, it teaches us that what we almost had, sometimes that weighs more than things we never even aimed for.
That's a really powerful summary. Puts it perfectly. It brings home that idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That our biggest regrets might not be the actual failures, but the successes we walked away from just before they happen.
Mm-hmm. Unattempted successes.
So, as we start to wrap up this deep dive, maybe consider this. What headset moment is sitting there quietly in your life right now, waiting for your one more reach? What dream, what breakthrough, what connection maybe are you an inch away from and you don't even know it?
Yeah,
It's definitely something worth mulling over long after we finish talking here.
absolutely.
And if this message did strike a chord with you, the announcement actually gives a little hint about what's next for those wanting to explore more. It mentions a next episode teaser promising to dive into the summary of the book. Now, just to be clear, our deep dive today, we focused on the message inside the announcement itself, pulling out those universal truths.
Right, the communication strategy.
Exactly. But for anyone interested in learning more about the book itself or maybe connecting with the author, the source material does provide contact details. It lists at Brilliant Abdu and at the headset you almost had on social media, and also gives emails, brilliantabdu@gmail.com and the headset you almost had at gmail.com.
Good to know.
So thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. It might have seemed like just an announcement, but wow, it really holds a powerful universal truth about sticking it out, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Keep reaching, keep exploring, and we'll catch you on the next one.